going on, NoFLTR? You good?
I'm good. What she said. Yeah. Furious.
No, I'm good still.
DC?
There. No gully side.
Yeah. I am well. So yeah, we just brought you to this virtual world today because I want to chat about you guys been watching any of the Travis Scott stuff over this weekend.
Wild.
Yeah.
Want to pick your brain a
Like-
bit. What are you thinking? How do you feel? Well, in general, how do you feel about it?
You know, it just, for me, it reminds me of our outing one New Year's in Northampton where we low-key almost died.
Oh, almost got trampled.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this reminds me that this threat in like large group venues and events and that, it can happen literally at any time. All it takes is for 100 kids to decide to run in one direction and it's actually peak.
You're not wrong.
And it's happened at this concert and sadly, like, is it eight?
Yeah, but that's just the
I
count
didn't
at
even know the
moment.
numbers, you know.
Yeah. So at the moment, 8, but I've seen videos on TikTok of people literally saying there were so many people on the floor not breathing.
Yeah.
It's a mad.
Yeah.
One boy was like, I felt like I was in hell.
Wow.
He was like, this. That's how he described the concert. He was like, I felt like I was in hell.
That sounds cray still. Like,
yeah, I know. It's because the music carried on. That's why. It's because Travis Scott carried on. That's why it was
This
mad.
makes a bit more sense because I was gonna say, to say that you felt like you was in hell. Like, I know that some people may kind of phrase certain things like this, but I feel like it's a bit too fitting for what apparently was going on in terms of what people are saying was cracking behind the scenes, like thinking that he's on some Mason, some Doppy, some f***ery. To hear a man say, I felt like I was in hell. Yeah, it's a bit mad, like, and it probably did feel like he was in hell if he was fucking getting trampled or watched everybody else getting trampled, but I obviously personally would have chosen a different phrase, so I don't know. Like you said, if it's because the music was still playing, then it was extra trippy and shit.
I think it was the
that
environment.
Would make more sense to me.
So,
probably just a mixture of all of that, all of the things. The music, the fact that he kept singing and he kept performing. Then you're seeing dead bodies on the floor. Then you're seeing
that's mad.
You're seeing paramedics like
people
trying
screaming.
to
Everyone was
resuscitate
screaming.
the kids.
People were screaming, saying stop.
Everyone's screaming. Everyone's yelling at him to say stop the concert.
No one ain't listening.
It's still going on.
Security ain't listening.
Your adrenaline's pumping. You're going nuts in your head, and you're thinking, "Is this even real? Is this even real?"
I think this makes sense to me now. It's the music, the settings, and is this real? Which I can imagine it would have felt so fucking surreal. Like, it must have been an absolute mad thing, to be fair.
The guy that put the TikTok on, I think he was saying, I think he makes music, innit? And he was like, I base, like, my music influence is Travis Scott, innit? Like, I'm a big fan. But he was like, now I just feel like I need to thank God after that. I think he said something like that.
Wow.
Because he was like, this was some next level. He said, you don't understand how it was. It was absolutely crazy.
I don't think any of us will ever understand. If you wasn't there, you're never gonna know. You can only literally imagine. I saw some trippy shit on some clips, and I thought, nah, is this real? Like,
this is what I'm saying.
For real.
Even the stage looked demonic. Even the stage looked demonic. Like, his stage, had, obviously, you know when you have screens and you can make a scene. So his scene was like, it was like
that's still wild. That's wild.
I did see that.
It was a bit weird still. Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, the whole debate now that everyone's talking about is, some people are like, leave Travis alone. He didn't know it. But you paused the concert to say that someone.
Well, I was gonna say, I initially when I saw the girl was trying to alert them that somebody's dead.
They just
I thought the music's so f***ing loud. Maybe he genuinely just hasn't heard that shit if he's got his earphones in and blah, blah, blah.
But he
if
saw
you're
the
saying...
ambulance.
Yeah, but
Man saw.
see, like think
ambulance.
about how many artists have seen ambulances and paramedics in the crowd. You're not gonna necessarily know that it's an actual
Stop the
crisis.
whole thing.
Like kids faint at concerts all the time, so
yeah.
But this is true. But
there's a
this
chance
one
he
was
actually
excessive.
may
This one
not
was
have.
excessive.
Huh?
This was excessive though. Like there were people bleeding and screaming, and they were chanting "Stop the concert," and people were screaming. Like you could hear people screaming like they were dying.
Do you think, in the mind of a performer, do you think you'd be able to distinguish the screams of joy from the screams of like horror and all the music's playing, and you got your earpieces
to play
in,
devil's
like,
advocate.
But devil's advocate, do you think he would have picked up on the tone of what was going on?
I think he did pick up on it because there was a clip that I saw from the concert of him making an announcement saying, "Is everyone?" He was concerned, and I can't even do the thing.
You trying to do the two-finger something thing.
He was concerned, and he was said, "If everyone's all right, put one hand in the air." And I think it wasn't clear that everyone was all right. So he said, "Everyone put two hands in the air," and it was like only pockets of people from the crowd putting two hands in the air. Yeah, everyone else was probably, because they were at that point of him doing that, someone probably already died. So then he carried on.
Mad.
That's what I'm trying to say. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So he stopped it apparently like 4 times. But I'm like, the fact that you keep having to stop 4 times for someone passing out, you don't think that's cause for concern?
Wow.
And
you know, it's mad, you know.
I was just going to say, and I don't think that people saying he's got a mic, like it's too loud, he can't hear stuff. He's got a mic that connects him to someone that can talk to him at all times. Because if someone in the crowd had a gun and tried to shoot him, he would know in a second. He would know in a second, and he'd be off that stage. Like that clip that we were watching, Juicy, of him baiting up that guy that stole his shoe. So he stopped his concert for someone stealing his shoe in 2017 and basically told everyone to basically be and then he spat on him. So don't
just to play devil's advocate one more time.
Yeah.
He was lower to the ground then, and it.
Yeah,
now,
he was kind of like in the crowd, kind of.
Whereas this looked like he was high up. Huh?
Yeah, but high up, that means you should have saw everything then.
I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I still think he's on some ducketing from what I could see, unless it was edited. Yeah. But like I said, just the devil's advocate thing, trying to think of both sides. You get me?
If anything, his team is to blame because they knew what was happening. Because you sent medics out and medics didn't know what to do.
The video of the girl and the boy climbing up on the thing, yelling at the man who was doing the controls, saying there is somebody dead. Over there, someone's dead. Stop the concert! Stop the concert! Stop the concert! Stop! Someone is dead. I feel like that youth there, that man there, is one of the people that needs a good seeing to, because there's 2 kids screaming someone's dead. Like, how much more signs do you need? And you're there still trying to control the pyrotechnics on the stage, like for Travis.
Yeah, that's
like
furious.
That's a bit.
Do your job. One big joke, to be fair.
The thing is, and also her statement. I was reading her statement that she put out. The girl that climbed on stage.
Yeah.
And honestly, she's just basically given her account of the concert, and it actually does sound like hell because it was that deep. It was like, I can't believe that actually happened to you. And that's why people are just like saying it just seemed like some sort of ritual. I'm not saying I believe this, but the way she described the concert, it made it sound like some ritual sacrifice thing, though. Because she was like,
this is what people have been saying, though.
I've seen the conspiracies about that, and I'm not sure. I don't know. For me, it's just like a simple case of shit crowd control, bro. Just shit. And I genuinely think it can happen at any concert. It just doesn't.
I hear that.
And that's lucky.
Yeah, but I don't know, because
in any situation like that, if all the kids decide to do one thing at one time, they could kill each other.
Can you explain then?
You see those mosh pits? There's mosh pits that kids do.
Yeah.
Someone could die in those mosh pits at any time.
But this was different. This was different.
Somebody's neck could get snapped when a man gets jumped on.
Somebody's
Like,
neck-
I've always
if-
thought
yeah.
that's mad.
Okay, let me ask
Do you
you
know
a
what I
question.
mean?
If somebody trips over during that mosh pit,
Yeah.
and
Fluffed
the
it.
100 kids in the circle don't clock that person's on the floor.
Okay, but why was everyone
It's mad.
moving? So they've actually, one of the medics was stabbed with an injection. So I was watching a TikTok.
So they're
of a mum.
fucking
Get into this
spiking in the
injection
motherfucking
thing,
crowd
please,
as well.
because
So basically, I watched
That's
a
mad.
TikTok today of a woman whose daughter went to the concert, and she's basically upset, and she put online basically saying everyone's talking about this concert and saying this person died, but no one's talking about what was happening. She said her daughter was there, and she said people went there to cause the harm to people because people were dashing. There was a group of people that were spread out throughout the crowds, throwing $100 bills, and people were fighting over it and injecting people with some sort of substance.
So
making
this
people
was
absolutely
all
mad.
planned.
You get what I'm saying? So that's not just from one person. Several people have said this, that people were fighting over $100 bills. So I'm like, this is what I'm saying. This concert is different to other people's, and people putting loads of clips online of concerts with people stopping it because of one person has fainted, and they haven't continued until that situation is sorted. Whereas Travis Scott paused for a hot minute and was like, "All right, you guys good there? All right, cool. Let me carry on." You get what I'm saying?
I've seen like clips of.
This is why it's under investigation, because it's not right.
Well, I was going to say,
That-
what are the repercussions going to be, or is he too rich to have them kind of repercussions? Is he going to try and pay everybody off? I don't think anything's going to get done, so I'm quite curious to see how this pans out. Like, that was an absolute madness. Not only are people deading, but you've got needles going round. It's a lot. Like, I don't get it.
Like,
I'm just lost in the
it's a bit
source.
mad. The needle thing ain't fake because one of the medics was stabbed by the needle. That's how the police actually confirmed there was people.
No, I
injecting
believe
people.
you. You got people spiking people with needles, like in
why
a
would you
real
wanna do
life.
that?
So I would not put nothing past nobody.
That means that the intention was to make that happen, no?
As in,
Do you get what
whose
I'm saying?
intention though? Whose intention are you saying?
I don't know. Someone
Because
intended that.
obviously people are intentionally doing it, but are you saying it's part of the satanic ritual, or are you saying that there's some people in the crowd on a madness? Do you get what I mean?
There's someone wanted somebody. If you pass $100 bill around a crowded place, what do you think's gonna happen? There's only one thing gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna cause some sort of ruckus.
But are you saying it was deliberate as opposed to ignorance?
It was definitely deliberate. If you go to a crowded concert and you throw $100 bills, and each of you do it in like certain places in that event and dotted around, your intention is to cause harm because you know everyone's gonna fight over those $100 bills.
Some people are just fast, and some people are ignorant, and some people are stupid. So I know that there's every chance that somebody went in there saying, "Let me this shit up." But there's a lot of stupid people on the other hand that are just fools. So I wouldn't personally say, right, it must have been this, because I do believe that there are humans out there that will say, okay, I want to cause a ruckus tonight. Let's see what happens. And they don't care about I know that there's a lot of people like that. So I'm not arguing against your theory, but I have to see the two possible sides, or the possible. Do you get what I mean? Because we don't know what people are thinking, but we know what people could possibly be thinking. But we also know, again, that people are stupid and people are ignorant. Do you get what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'm confused. 50 shades of. Do you get me? All of this is just mad.
Awfully booky.
Yeah.
For $100 bills to just be in your pocket to be throwing around without you planning to have $100 bills to dash around in the concert.
Well, out
to
of
cause some
malice
sort of reaction.
or out of fastness?
No, malice. That's planned.
Well,
not just the
there's
bills,
there's no real rationale. Like, it can't be fastness, because who's trying to spend like $1,000 to be fast? Like, do you know what I mean?
With money
So
to waste.
it's like
true.
you like. I think you are right in what you say about who was throwing them knew that some shit was gonna start after they threw them, because
100.
that's what happens. every single time someone's throwing money around. Like, have you
For
seen
real.
those videos of people throwing money off roofs and you see the people on mad thing and just running around and that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we know what humans do when free money's being, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that was happening.
Rats in a lab.
Because yeah, rats in a lab for sure.
Just
But
getting
then
experimented on.
I think there's going to be a big investigation, but then I feel like there's also going to be a big cover up. That's my opinion. And you know the cameraman that's all over. The girl that said if someone's dead,
Yeah.
and the cameraman kind of him and his family have been getting death threats because people are blaming him and it.
Oh shit! Yeah, but he definitely.
I love it when you jump.
Excited, love.
Oh, yeah, he definitely up by not reacting to that girl.
Yeah.
There's priorities. Like, if
He's
someone's
not
yelling,
the only one that didn't do that. But...
Yeah, well, he's the one on camera, so it's for him.
Yeah. It's true.
It's just one of them ones. You had one job. Just one.
It's true.
Yeah, but in his mind, his one job was to film,
to the two kids. Yeah, your one job got overridden by another job.
Yeah.
I hear that.
When someone said there's people dying in the crowd.
Yeah, that's when you stop.
Your one job got dashed for a new job, and the new job was stop what you're doing and create some sort of make wave. Stop what you're doing and wave.
Emergency.
Get someone's attention. Like there's an emergency. Like, what would he have done if there was a fire? If somebody said fire, fire.
Oh yes, I didn't think that.
Wrong hole.
He would have said, oh yeah, okay, and carried on doing Travis's special effects.
No,
like
it's a special effects. I'm done.
Like what the lord? This is why there's someone told me something really interesting one time. They said if you're being attacked in public or in the street or whatever, don't yell help. Don't yell rape. Don't yell anything. Yell fire.
Sick.
And I said, you know what? You're right. People don't react how they're supposed to react to all the other fucking things.
Yeah.
But if you say fire, people all of a sudden want to do up fucking intelligent.
Be alert.
Be alert. People want to wake up.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is about the word fire, but I guess I know what it is. You see, fire will burn us all up.
Yeah, all danger.
Yeah, fire will fuck us all up. The attacker is just fucking you up, not me. I'm safe, but you're getting attacked. I'll be over here. Yeah, I'll be over here. Do you know what I'm saying? A gunman, I'll be over here. A knifeman, I'll be over here. But fire's not. So I feel like
spreads.
Yeah, fire spreads and fire will get you. So people care when there's fire, but they don't care and they don't want to help when there's anything else. She's yelling.
This is nobody gives a unless it's them. You get me? Which is
for
smart.
For true. If you were running away from a serial killer down the street, if you yell help, everyone's keeping their door closed on that street. But if you yell fire, 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 everyone's coming out with their dog and in their dressing gown.
It's true.
To see what goes on.
So dressing gown for me.
It's true. Everyone's what's going on?
Mad.
Yeah.
Opening curtains.
What's going on?
It's true.
Yeah, clutching the fucking poodle. Coming to the front door.
The poodle now. You really painted a picture in my fucking
you can
cranium
see it, innit?
right about now. Yes, I can.
You're dressing down on the doorstep, looking to see what go on. That's how you're gonna get a witness to you being chased by a serial killer, because you're not gonna get it any other way. FYI to all the viewers out there right now. This is a word of advice. Yell fire. Don't know how we got here, but here's the advice.
Good advice. So maybe if she yelled fire, he would have responded.
Clearly, dead bodies isn't what we want to react to.
The thing is, I watched the clip a few times, and you can hear it in her voice. She's not joking. Like you can tell when someone is terrified.
Well, you can
Yeah,
look at
Tell
but
that
yeah.
it was a lot. It was
in her
intense.
voice. It was intense, and that's why when I read her account of the whole event, it was even the way it was written. It was intense. It made you. I had to stop a couple of times reading her statement, man, because it was. And then the cameraman put out a statement. I think the cameraman's wife tweeted or something like that, saying, "Can you stop basically painting my husband in a bad picture because we're getting death threats," basically. And then the actual girl put out an apology saying, "Just don't blame him." But I'm like, bro, I don't know. Did he lay in his bed? Did he make his bed? Should he lay in it? I think he's going to be a scapegoat for a lot of people's F-ups in that.
I'm glad you said it, because I was thinking to myself, if he'd have stopped the whole, like if he'd have tried to get the whole thing stopped, or he stopped recording or whatever the Ross he was doing, he probably would have been selfishly thinking he don't want to lose his job. If he'd have stopped some shit,
100, he was thinking
he probably
that.
would have got
100 he was
fired.
thinking that.
So I feel like the people up top will be more than happy to let him be the scapegoat.
I was just gonna say the wickedest thing is that even now that he didn't stop the concert, but he could still be used as the scapegoat for why kids died.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
So it was a lose-lose situation. The second the kids came up to him, it was lose-lose. If he stops the concert, they blame him. If he doesn't stop the concert, they blame him.
But I think I'd rather stop the
Exactly.
concert, bro, and have a conscience, bro, and not go to hell.
Well, you'd
Look,
be fired,
we've just
but they
spoken
wouldn't
about
be
how humans are
dead
selfish
kids.
and shit. We know exactly what you're supposed to do, and I feel like most people know what they're supposed to do, but it's the decisions that are made despite knowing what we're supposed to do. And a lot of people don't do what they're supposed to do, which is really fucked up. But it's a fucked up world, ain't it? So I'm just like,
I will say it's deep for him, because I don't agree with the decision that cameraman made, but I do feel like
it's a bit much now.
He's not the only. He was one of a lot of people that made mistakes that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, people were ramming it. I think more people got into that concert because I think people were pushing in. First of all the security on the outside, that should have already been a cause for concern. There's loads of security there. I'm hearing all these numbers of there's loads of police there, there's loads of security, but I'm thinking, you got that much security and police, but 8 people died.
Yeah,
so you're telling me, the thing is, there would have been a lead up to these events, you know. These events don't just happen in 1 minute. These 8 people wouldn't have died in the same minute. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of mistakes mad,
you know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But part of me thinks that this is just one of those things where things will change now that this has happened. If you think about the
like
hundreds of concerts
and shit.
Yeah. The hundreds of concerts that have happened before this one where kids didn't die, there was no real reason to have extra precautions with crowd control and this, and you let mosh pits happen and you let this kids will be kids. But now that this has happened, only now will people or
take it serious
or events events coordinators will have this in mind now. But it's just one of those sad things in life where something like this happens, and then that's what makes things better. That's what makes things tick over how they should. It's fucked because it's essentially like saying that people have to die for things to be.
No, that's exactly what it's saying. But again, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's dead. It's really shit, but that is how life works. Regulations and legislations get put in place because, like, remember the football stadium where the crushing happened?
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Back in the 70s. Hillside. That's the one. Hillsborough tragedy. But
Hillsborough. Yeah, it was a stadium, and basically people pushed their way in.
Yeah.
Same as this one.
Yeah.
And people pushed their way in basically and made the stadium overcrowded, and a lot of people died. Obviously, a lot.
Yeah, just from crushing.
It was disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, and so things like that have to happen in order for clubs, stadiums, concert arenas, or whatever to actually look at their shit in fine detail to be like, okay, what are all the risks? Here's the risk assessment. This can happen. How do we avoid this? Boom, bam. People aren't proactive; they're reactive, and this is another one of those reactive situations. So it's just kids have lost lives, man. Because Drake's being sued as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
because
shit.
he was performing whilst people were dying. I think. I don't know.
So how long were the deadings going on for, please? Because
this is what I'm trying to say.
I don't understand.
Well,
yes.
They're working out the timeline.
Me, no.
Yeah, and he was playing. He carried on his performance for I think another 36 minutes. I think it was after the first person was announced dead. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. His concert is different to the other concerts where kids have passed out before. He carried on after someone's dead. I don't think any other concert that's happened. This is really different.
I feel like the only thing that would have stopped Travis performing is the DJ locking it all off.
Wait a minute, fam. That's very accurate.
Yeah. Once the music stops, the artist stops. I feel like because the DJ kept playing, he just... But if the DJ stopped... Yeah. And there's no point in screaming at Travis. Stop. He's not going to compute
this.
It's the DJ. The DJ needed to stop.
He's the root of this.
The people were screaming at everyone, innit? The people were screaming at Travis to stop, I think, because the security that was being screamed at, they weren't doing nothing. People were telling security, this person is dead, and they're not doing nothing. They're just like, medics are coming. And then I think they said 2 medics came, and they didn't know what they were doing. Or something like that. They were just overwhelmed.
Like everyone was out of their depth, man. Yeah, everyone was out of their depth. It looked like there wasn't enough crowd control. There wasn't enough paramedics. There wasn't any skilled enough paramedic. Like, it was just all, like you said, a shit show. But, like we said, reactive, innit? Maybe 2 paramedics at a fucking concert has always been enough until 100 kids get crushed, and then it's like, there's only 2 men here with 2 first aid kits. Are you all right?
No, that sounds mad. So.
Like, it sounds mad, innit, when you say it like that, but when a tragedy has never happened, your 2 Dega paramedics has always been all right.
It's,
You know what I mean? So it's just one of those reactive things. It's all right until it's not.
Yeah.
I just hope there's not a cover up in it. I just hope they investigate everything properly.
Same.
Yeah, I'll be curious I'll keep my eye on the investigation and see what materializes from it.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see Travis in person talk about it.
Oh,
well, he did an apology.
I feel like it's an absolute must if we're honest.
Yeah.
Well, he's under investigation. I don't think he'll be legally talking to anyone right now. I'm sure his lawyer.
Yeah, he's probably been told to keep his touch.
It's true.
Yeah, innit?
Why?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Just watch the story.
For me, I don't know if it's a conspiracy behind it or whether it was just one of those freak accidents, so to speak. But these things do happen. Speaking from someone who's been at a crowded event and had people all trying to leave this event because it's being evacuated all at one time, being crushed by hundreds of people at the bottom of a staircase, and definitely feeling like I could die here. Like, these things do happen, and obviously more needs to be done in events to prevent the possibility of it happening. Any way you get a whole bunch of people, it can happen at any time. Like, I feel like more needs to be done, and I think more will be done now that this has happened. It's just sad that it's taken for all these kids to actually have this traumatic experience and die, for people to really see that actually more needs to be done to have a bit more control on crowded events like this, because it literally takes a group of people to make a decision to move in one direction very fast at one time for this kind of stuff to happen. We would hope as well that going forward, kids screaming at people who are working at these events and yelling someone's dying, someone's hurt, gets taken a little bit more seriously than what we've seen in these videos, man.
The footage that I've seen looks mad, innit? I don't know whether it's something to do with satanic rituals or not. I think anything's possible in this world, in this day and age and shit. But what I do know is that it was a madness regardless. I don't want to put it down to one specific thing or say, yo, it was this or it was that, because I feel like that would not be rational thinking. However, I'm very open to either theory or what's the word? Either
possibility.
That. Yeah, I think it was mad. It was really up. I feel like people need to be held accountable. But in terms of what was cracking behind the scenes, that's what I really want to know what was going on there. And I don't think I'm going to get them answers, to be fair.
Basically, I am leaning more towards people went to this, an individual, a group, an organization went to this concert and planned to create mayhem and intended to cause harm via the means of suspicious bills and these injections that were given, like people injecting people in it. I don't know who's responsible, but I just know something was dodgy, and I'm just hoping it's not a cover-up. And I just hope the investigation, I hope that someone doesn't cover it up, and I hope that they actually investigate it properly.